días. Buenos días todos. I will switch to English. I'm sorry, my Spanish is not that developed. I do understand a little bit though. My name is Ismail Chaib, as Manuel was saying. Thanks for introducing me. I'm the Chief Operating Officer at Tisobe. We're the company behind the OpenBankProject. OpenBankProject, as you may know, being the leading open source API solution for banks. We help banks all over the world to comply with PSD2, to open up APIs, and to work with communities of developers and fintech startups such as yourselves. I'm just going to give you like a very brief overview of what we do and how, and importantly, how you can use the OpenBankProject today to build your applications. Very, very happy, by the way, to be here and to support the hackathon to provide our sandbox. So just here, a quick overview. OpenBankProject is so the whole platform is to be deployed behind the bank firewall. It's going to be operated by the bank. Again, it's an open source solution. It basically connects to the core banking of the banks, abstract away the complexity of that core banking, and exposes a set of APIs which are RESTful and JSON-based APIs. So basically providing developers with super easy tools to connect programmatically to the bank account. Can you hear me okay, by the way? So, a little bit? Okay, all right. I'm very bad with mics. So in terms of functionalities and capabilities, what these sandbox that you have today, what it offers is very simple, right? Like first it gives you access to a certain number of banks, different banks, with the information related to that. It gives you access to account information, transaction history, and of course enabling payments and creating views. And I'll dig in deeper into each of these fields. So of course there's, you can access a list of banks, different banks with all their specificities. You can access, is that account, by the way? That's account, right? Cuentas, yeah, that's account. So you can access a list of accounts, and here is really the account information. So you can have different types of accounts, savings account, current account. You can access the information about the customers, so name, and all sorts of other, so information on customers. So from the bank balance to information about the personal information of the customers. Then we also have, of course, transactions. So that's pretty much your transaction history with the amount, the currency, the date, the description, and so on. What's very interesting with the OpenBankProject is you can actually enrich those transactions with a certain list of metadata, right? So you can add pictures to a transaction, you can add geolocation, tags, comments, and so on and so forth, like richer description, so on and so forth. So that's all driven by the API. Lastly, you also have this idea of views. So you're able to create different views on the data. So you give different level of access to your bank account as an account owner. So for instance, you can create a view, an owner view. So when you would have an owner view, you can create as a small business owner, you can create a auditor view. So you share transactions or you share access to your account with your auditor so he can do his job. Or you can share access to your account, read-only access with your coworkers. And maybe you want to share a certain view of this data. So maybe you just want to share the balance or the description of the transaction and you want to hide the date. So all these sort of scenarios are things you can do programmatically with the API. Of course, the account holder can create these views and decide which who have access to which data. Very powerful. That's for the views. The other thing I want to talk about is fund transfer, so payment. So again, with this sandbox, you can simulate transaction. By the way, the sandbox you have here, it's all test data, right? So it's all sort of dummy data. It's Spanish test data, and so you can feel free to use it. And so you have payments, so you can do transactions between one account and another to simulate payments. There's a lot more in the API, but we just wanted to focus on these because these are the key elements. These are the sort of requirements, or at least known requirements of PSD2. but there is a lot more in the API. I encourage you to go and have a look at it. We support KYC, we support card management, and so on and so forth. And so how do you take it from there? I just want to share some links. So there are some. I'll be here the whole weekend. So I'm happy to support you, assist you when connected to the API. There are really 3 simple steps to get going. The first thing you have to do is to get an API key, and you can do that by going to api-sandbox.openbankproject.com. I'm pretty sure we'll send you an email with this information anyway, or we've already sent you the email. But api-sandbox.openbankproject.com, that's step 1, get your developer key. Once you have your